All right, here we are at our 1987 Jamestowner. This is a 14 by 53 aluminum hull houseboat for sale. We are here on the beautiful freshwaters of North Lake, Tennessee. And a couple things I always like to remind people when they do view our video tours. You will not hear me reference the current asking price. That is because they'll often change until a listing is sold, depending on the motivation of the seller. So we invite you to our website, which is at www.yournewboat.com, to find the current asking price and also to check the current status of it. If you're watching the video tour, if it does not say sold in the title, it is still available. However, it may be under contract. That's why we try to steer you to our website for the current list of specifications. If you're just trying to look at our video tours, I would recommend you visit our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/yournewboat. There's going to be two playlists at our YouTube channel. One is for current listings and one is for sold boats. We leave those sold boats up so people can reference different layouts and different boat models and things like that. But if you'll take the time to open up a new tab or a window, type in yournewboat.com, click enter, let that load. When you see that orange lettering, that lets you know you're at the right place. And when you click that find your new boat button, that's going to show you all of our inventory and order a price. And when a boat does go under contract, you'll see a sale pending pop up, or whenever you click into the details to see the full list of features for it, you'll see pending instead of the asking price on there. We also invite you to visit the site there, because that's the best way to reach us. We do not monitor YouTube comment or the YouTube comments below the video, but you can reach us by phone, by text, or by email. But I do also like to remind people, if you send us an email and you haven't gotten a reply in one business day, please check your spam folder, or your reply is likely sitting there. And if you do call us on the phone, we're frequently in and out of cell phone range and with different customers. So if you'll do us a favor, leave us a message, and if you leave a detailed message, let me know which listing you're looking at and what questions you have. As soon as we either finish with the customer or get back in cell phone range, we can return that call, have all those questions answered for you. So most of what you're going to see in this video will remain and transfer with the sale of this one. That includes that patio furniture and that charbroil gas grill out there on the front porch. Slip is not transferable with this one. This seller is actually moving up to a larger boat, so they will be hanging onto this slip. If you're in the Norris Lake area and looking for other options within the Norris Lake area, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to talk through options for you. Currently right now, there's going to be a waiting list for just about every houseboat slip on the lake. But we can point you to some marinas where you'd be able to moor this out within their marina harbor, so you have a place to use it without having to haul it off the lake. So here at our Helm station, we've got our shift and throttle control. This is powered by a MerCruiser 3.0 liter Alpha 1 outdrive 4-cylinder, inline 4-cylinder, 4-stroke Sterndrive engine. There are currently approximately 361 almost 0.5 hours, so we're going to round that up, 362 hours. This boat was last hauled out about 2011, 2012, and that outdrive was serviced. Just about everything else on this boat is likely new within about the last 3 years. I'll try to call those to your attention as we go through our video tour. Well, before we leave the Helm station, I want to point out we got a battery bolt meter, engine temperature gauge, tachometer, engine oil pressure, fuel gauge, and drive trim gauge. This is the location of the bilge pumps and your navigation lights on the boat. Jamestowner likes to put these on their boats so you can see when you have power to your navigation lights and things like that. Also have a 12-volt power outlet up here, and actually I've got to turn on our 12-volt power, and then there's that functional horn right there. Additionally, we have an upgraded, this is a Boss audio system. This is an AM, FM, CD, USB, auxiliary, Bluetooth stereo, Also accepts an SD card. You can hook up a backup camera to this as well. With it having the screen that it does, it's got a lot of options available. Does have 4 speakers, 2 here in the main cabin, 2 on the front porch. We function tested those. Those are all functional. And additionally, we've got your shore power transfer switch. This is a inverter panel. We've got a 3,000 watt Ames power inverter that's running off of a 3-bank battery. I believe that those batteries were replaced in 2017, 2018. Additionally, we've got a GFI Blue Sea Systems GFI breaker that has been installed on the wiring. We've got inverter bypass switch up here at your Helm area as well. Overhead, we have a VHF radio. This does function.
Good afternoon.
It's got your weather band radio. A lot of work's been put into this boat in these last few years. This is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, single-level interior, and again, it is an aluminum hull. All the lighting has been changed to LED lighting recently. We've got ceiling fans, front porch here in the main cabin as well. As in the, well, actually in the master stateroom, there's a wall mount fan. We'll see that here in a few. This Hisense, that's a 40-inch HD Roku television. That is staying with the boat. We've got Coleman Mach roof air conditioning units. And then additionally, the seller has added a pair of 5,000 watt auxiliary electric heat strips. They're going to mount, actually this is where one of those mounts and plugs in at. He's got those plumbed in for both the master stateroom and here in this main living room area. Recliner, or dual recliner leather sofa that's staying on board. And then this is a electric refrigerator freezer. We've got a double stainless sink, a GE microwave, Black & Decker toaster oven, and then a Magic Chef. That is a 4-burner gas oven and range. We've got a Trident LP gas fume detector. And then directly across from the kitchen area, we have a stacked Kenmore washer and dryer. Got access to your underhull storage right here in the living room area. And then we've got basically a large island with some built-in cabinets, integrated cabinets. I should mention down in the hull space of this one, we have a approximately 120-gallon aluminum freshwater tank and an 80-gallon plastic waste holding tank, a 19-gallon electric water heater, and that water heater has been replaced within about the last 3 years. Now this is, we'll sometimes call this the hall bunk layout. Notice there are no steps in the floor of this. Single level interior, which is a preferred option. And then this has a pair of full-size bunk beds here in this hallway. And I'm gonna go ahead and walk forward a little bit so I can get you a better view. Storage underneath that bottom bunk bed. And then I also want to point out we've got a door, doubles as your closet door, but that will close off, essentially close off the back half of the boat from the front half of the boat. Hanging closet right in here. Now as I face towards the back of the boat, you're going to see that master stateroom. I'm going to close these doors just so you can see how this will how this layout is with the hull bunk layout. Anytime you hear us reference a hull bunk layout, this is common. This was common even dating back to the steel hull days. The older boats are typically going to have a step down. The steps would be right here as you enter this hallway towards the back half of the boat. You'd step down. Again, this one's all single level interior. We have these pocket doors so that this bunk area will share your bathroom with the master stateroom. All right, so now we've got all those doors open, so you just wanted to kind of give you a feel for how that's going to work. If you've got a full house, everybody can close off the doors, and then both your bunk room and your master stateroom can each access your full bath area. This is a Raritan Elegance marine head. That's a macerator head, and again, there is an 80-gallon waste holding tank. That's a plastic waste holding tank with a pump out. That is required on Norris Lake. All your black water goes into a holding tank. We got a walk-in shower. And then most of your slip fees, well, I should say that will vary from marina to marina. Just about everywhere on the lake, your electric's going to be metered. And then your sometimes your waste pump outs, that's for your black water tank, for that waste holding tank for your toilet. Sometimes that's going to be pump outs are going to be included in your marina fee, and sometimes you'll pay additional for that. Typically, the lake average is about $560 a season, and they'll pump you out whether you need it or not on a regular basis every 2 weeks from April through October, with off-season rates available. So I referenced that wall mount fan earlier back here in the master stateroom. That is your second roof air unit. Again, that is a newer unit. We've got a queen size bed here in the master stateroom, with some drawers integrated at the base of that bed. Now we've got another integrated dresser drawer area back here in the master stateroom, hanging closet on either side. That's a 32-inch Samsung flat screen HD television. We got some shelves in this closet, and this one you've got your clothes hanger. There's a feature that's been added to this one. Essentially, they've added a ventilator system for your under hull storage, and that is set up on this automated control, runs off your shore power, and essentially what that does is kind of keeps air circulating down below so that you don't have odors the minute you either go down into the hatch or coming up into the rest of the boat. So as you can see here, as we walk through this rear sliding door, I've got our engine hatches raised, and here's that MerCruiser 3.0 liter 4-cylinder inboard outboard Sterndrive engine. Tune-up was done on this very recently. Alpha 1 outdrive. Tilt trim motors were replaced recently as well. Now, this originally would have been a Kohler generator, marine generator, and they have replaced that with a 7,000 watt Honda fuel injected, air cooled generator with an electric start. There's about 14 hours on this, and this is wired into the rest of the basically wired into the front power panel. There was a transfer switch up there. Basically what you would do, you'd come back here, start this generator, and then transfer power over. Now you'll see some plumbing here. This is because this is an air-cooled generator. Essentially they have retrofitted this hatch in order for that generator to receive adequate ventilation. So those Honda generators can be very low maintenance and fuel efficient, much more so than that onboard Kohler generator. Now that is included with it. Now if you're someone that's going to leave this boat on shore power and have no plans on using it from the slip, the seller is willing to negotiate on the generator. If you don't think that's a feature that you're really going to be able to utilize, there's some room that we can work in the price, and he will retain the generator. We do have an onboard battery charger back here. I mentioned that 3,000 watt inverter up in the front of the boat. That is completely separate from your onboard batteries that feed your house, your 12 volt power within the boat, as well as that engine starting battery. Those are 2020 AGM batteries. Again, onboard battery charger, battery switch as well. And 14 hours on that Honda generator. I believe I referenced that. So I'm going to lower these hatches. Some of the tools in that little tote were not included with this. Just want to point that out. Now, additionally, the Yamaha Wave Runner is not included. This PWC rail, that is a Divnik PWC rail. That's an aftermarket add-on to this boat, as well as this swim platform. Again, that's going to be included with the boat, but again, if you're someone that has no plans to keep a personal watercraft on the boat, you'd rather save a few bucks, the seller is willing to also negotiate that as part of the sale and move that over to their new boat. What is nice about that PWC rail, and of course you can see their website right there, pwcrails.com. So you can pull that up, you know, see what that goes for. It does have an electric winch on there. But when that is not being utilized, you can lift that entire PWC rail in an up vertical position, and so it's not hanging off the back of your swim platform. So basically what that does is that frees up some space. If you're a family that likes doing a lot of swimming and taking full use of that swim platform, this is a nice extended swim platform. That's about 4 feet. Does have a swim boarding ladder as well. We've got front and rear shore power hookups on this one. That basically means you can back into your slip or pull forward into your slip. And then I'm going to use this aluminum ladder to go up to our rooftop area, your entertainment area, your sun deck. You're going to see these Coleman roof air units. Right here is a propane locker. That is for that gas oven and range. And then this little housing right here, that is essentially, that's been done away with. That would have been for a vent for a gas refrigerator that would have came on this boat originally in 1987 when it was built. Now with the addition of that 3,000 watt inverter, you can still power your refrigerator whenever you're away from shore power without simply just having to run your generator. This roof was last done in about 2018. And it is due to be done again. Gel coat was put on here. It's not in disrepair, but there's a few areas that are going to be due to be touched up soon. And so this is going to be due for another coating. Essentially this gel coat is just getting a little thin, and it's simply time to be redone. Good way to tell is you can kind of feel on there, and when you get some chalkiness on your fingers, that's typically when that outer gel coat layer is starting to fade and you're starting to get down into that layer of fiberglass. I've also noticed a few areas back here around this. You've got a little bit of an overhang that comes beyond this rear door, about maybe 36 to 40 inches here, a little bit of an overhang. And we've got some areas where there's good potential that some moisture has gotten in around here. A little bit of waviness on this side right here, and that's typically a sign that there's some moisture damage underneath that layer of fiberglass. But with this being an exterior part of the roof, that's not as critical as far as an area that's going to start showing leaks on the interior, again, because we're simply talking about an exterior cover. But again, that is something that you can address whenever you have this roof recoated. So we're starting to get towards the end of our video tour for this one. Again, this is the 1987 Jamestowner 14 by 53 aluminum hull. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, aluminum hull boat, single engine powered. And again, this slip is not transferable. Feel free to reach out to us. We've got essentially temporary slip available for it in the interim. And if you're in the Norris Lake area, feel free to reach out to us. We can talk through your options for short-term and long-term. Or if you're looking to have this hauled, we've also got contacts. If you're not sure who to contact about having it transported, we can work with you, put you in touch with some boat haulers that can have this delivered at a marina of your choice. This is an oversized load, so keep that in mind. The farther you're gonna go, the more expensive this will cost to transport. But it can be done, is done regularly. So again, this is the 1987 Jamestowner 14 by 53 aluminum hull houseboat for sale. Again, here on the beautiful freshwaters of Norris Lake, Tennessee. Please contact us with any questions through our site. Give us a call or send us a text message. We'd be happy to set up a time for you to come see this one in person. And I thank you again for joining us. That YourNewBoat.com logo that you see popping up in the top right-hand corner of your screen, that is simply a shortcut where you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is a great way to be notified of new listings as they come available in our area. Just click that link and that will subscribe you, and then Google and YouTube will send you notifications anytime we post a new video, which is typically going to be when a new listing is hitting the area. I thank you again for joining us.